The sirens echoed before anyone even understood what was happening. Students froze in the hallway as two officers marched through the glass doors of Crestwood High, their boots echoing sharply against the tiled floor. In the center of the hall stood a trembling girl clutching a textbook against her chest, the new girl, the one who had arrived only 3 days ago. Her name was Emily Carter, and beside her, smirking with poisonous confidence, stood Bradley Knox, the school's most feared bully. "Officers," Bradley announced loudly, "this girl tried to steal my phone. I caught her red-handed." Emily's eyes widened in horror. "I did. I've never even talked to you." But Bradley only crossed his arms and muttered just loud enough for her to hear, "People like you shouldn't be here anyway." The words hit like knives. Emily bit her lip, fighting back tears as the officers asked her to step aside. Students whispered. Phones were raised. Her first days at a new school were supposed to be quiet, maybe even hopeful, definitely not this. And Bradley had no idea who he had just messed with. A new start gone wrong. Emily had moved to Crestwood hopping for peace. Her father, Judge Michael Carter, one of the state's most respected legal figures, had insisted on privacy for her after a difficult year at her previous school. He never used his influence to intimidate anyone, and he had raised Emily the same way. But Emily stood out. Her foreign-born mother had given her features Bradley immediately decided were different enough to make her a target. Her first day, he shoved her locker shut while sneering. This school was fine before they started letting outsiders in. She ignored it. The second day, he knocked her lunch tray from her hands and whispered, "Go back where you came from." She walked away again. But the third day, he escalated. When he saw Emily quietly reading under a tree while waiting for her ride home, he snapped a picture of his own phone and, with twisted creativity, staged it in her hands, then called 911, claiming she tried to steal from him. No one in school history had ever gone that far. "Handcuffs and heartbreak." "Turn around, miss," one officer said gently, clearly uncomfortable with the situation. Emily's voice shook. "Please, please believe me, I didn't do anything." Bradley smirked smugly, already picturing her humiliation spreading across the school like wildfire. But then, right as the officer reached for the cuffs, Principal Sarah Whitman stormed through the crowd. "What on earth is happening here?" she demanded. "Ma'am," the officer said, "we received a theft report involving this student." "No," the principal's tone cut through the hallway like steel. "I know Emily Carter, and I want to see this supposed evidence right now." Bradley's face stiffened. He hadn't expected adults to question him. The officer handed the phone to Principal Whitman. She studied the photo, then narrowed her eyes. "This is fake," she said. "The shadows don't even match, and Emily was in my office at the time this photo claims to have been taken." Gasps exploded through the crowd. Emily blinked. Bradley stuttered. The officers looked at each other awkwardly. But the principal wasn't done. "And Bradley," she said, turning slowly toward him, "before I call your parents, I need you to understand something crucial. You didn't just target a new student." Her voice dropped. "You targeted Judge Michael Carter's daughter." The hallway fell silent. Bradley's mouth dropped open. Emily felt the world spin around her. The truth unravels. Within minutes, the officers apologized to Emily, their earlier firmness replaced with deep remorse. Bradley, suddenly pale, tried to claim it was a misunderstanding, but Principal Whitman demanded he surrender his phone. A quick search revealed weeks of hateful messages he had sent to other students as well. Worse, there were voice recordings. Snickering, mocking accents, calling students names based on how they looked. Stuff he never expected anyone to hear. For a moment, Emily felt anger, humiliation, and exhaustion crash over her. Everything she tried to avoid, attention, conflict, fear, had found her anyway. But then something changed. Emily's challenge. Instead of letting the school deal with everything silently, Emily requested a meeting with Bradley, the principal, the officers, and the students involved as witnesses. Everyone was shocked. "Emily," the principal said gently, "you don't need to face him. Your father can handle this legally." But Emily shook her head. "This isn't just about me. It's about everyone he hurt." So they gathered in the library after school, the long wooden table suddenly feeling like a courtroom. Bradley slouched in his chair. "What, you came to gloat?" "No," Emily said softly. "I came to tell you how much you scared me, how humiliated I felt, how small." Her eyes watered, but she didn't look away. "But I also want to tell you something else." Bradley muttered, "What?" "I forgive you." The room froze. No one had expected that. Not the principal, not the officers, not even Bradley. Emily continued, voice trembling but strong. "It doesn't make what you did okay. You hurt a lot of people. But the only way things change is if someone stops the cycle." For the first time, Bradley's hard expression cracked. He looked down. I don't know why I did it," he mumbled. "My dad, he talks like that at home all the time. I thought it was normal." Emily sighed. "It doesn't have to be." Those simple words shattered something in him. Bradley finally whispered, "I'm sorry to you, to everyone." A turning point. Bradley was suspended, but with mandatory counseling and community service at the courthouse Judge Carter supervised. The officers ensured the report reflected the truth. Principal Whitman launched a campus-wide anti-bias program, using the incident as a starting point to bring students into kindness and accountability training. And surprisingly, over time, Bradley changed. He apologized to every student he hurt. He attended his counseling sessions. He volunteered. He grew. Emily didn't become his best friend, but she did something more powerful. She became a reminder that compassion can break walls hate builds. A strong, inspiring message. By the end of the year, Emily stood confidently on stage at the spring assembly, delivering a speech about courage, healing, and confronting prejudice with boldness and grace. Her final words made the whole auditorium rise to their feet. You never know the full story behind someone's face, but every single one of us gets to choose who we become, no matter how we were raised, no matter what we've been taught. Kindness is a choice. Courage is a choice. Change is a choice. Bradley, sitting in the fourth row, clapped the loudest. And for the first time since she arrived at Crestwood, Emily felt exactly what she had longed for. A place she finally belonged.